Poveglia Island, situated between Venice and Lido in the Venetian Lagoon, is infamous for its dark and eerie history. Often referred to as one of the most haunted places on Earth, the island's reputation stems from its use as a quarantine station, a mass burial ground, and the site of a rumored asylum. Today, Poveglia is abandoned, with its crumbling buildings and overgrown vegetation evoking a sense of foreboding and mystery. Early history. Poveglia's history dates back to at least the Roman era. Initially, the island was inhabited and served as a small community. However, in 1379, during the War of Chioggia, the residents were evacuated, and Poveglia remained largely uninhabited for centuries. Plague quarantine station. In the late 18th century, Poveglia was repurposed as a quarantine station, or lazaretto, for individuals suspected of having the bubonic plague. Venice was a major trade hub, and the island served as a critical barrier to prevent the spread of the disease. Thousands of plague victims, both dead and alive, were sent to the island. Those infected were often left to die on Poveglia, and their bodies were burned and buried in mass graves. It is estimated that the ashes of more than 100,000 people are buried on the island. Asylum. In 1922, a psychiatric hospital was established on Poveglia. This facility housed patients with mental illnesses, and according to legend, a doctor at the asylum conducted horrific experiments, including lobotomies, on the patients. The doctor himself reportedly went mad, driven by the ghosts of the island, and leaped from the hospital's bell tower to his death. Abandonment. After the hospital closed in 1968, Poveglia was abandoned. Despite various attempts to auction or develop the island, its dark history and local superstitions have deterred permanent settlements. Today, it remains uninhabited and is closed to public access, although some thrill seekers and paranormal enthusiasts occasionally make their way there. Reputation for hauntings. Poveglia is widely considered one of the most haunted locations in Italy, if not the world. Its long history of death and suffering has led many to believe the island is cursed. Visitors have reported hearing disembodied screams, moans, and cries, particularly near the plague pits and the ruins of the asylum. The bell tower. The abandoned bell tower, once part of the asylum, is a focal point of ghostly activity. Locals claim to hear the bell ring, even though it was removed decades ago. The tower is also associated with the tragic story of the Mad Doctor, whose spirit is said to haunt the area. Apparitions. People who have ventured onto the island have reported seeing shadowy figures and ghostly apparitions wandering among the ruins. Some claim to have felt invisible hands pushing them or heard whispers urging them to leave. The plague pits. The mass graves and burned remains from the island's time as a quarantine station are believed to be hotbeds of paranormal activity. Many believe the restless souls of plague victims linger on Poveglia, unable to find peace due to the horrific conditions they endured in life. Pop culture. Poveglia's dark history and reputation as a haunted location have made it a popular subject in books, films, and television shows. It has been featured on paranormal investigation programs like Ghost Adventures and Scariest Places on Earth, where investigators and researchers explore its eerie ruins and attempt to communicate with spirits. Local legends. The Venetian locals hold Poveglia in a mixture of fear and respect. Many refuse to set foot on the island, believing it to be cursed. Fishermen avoid the waters around it, wary of accidentally catching human bones in their nets. Tourism. Despite being officially off-limits, Poveglia attracts tourists, urban explorers, and paranormal enthusiasts. The island's reputation has only grown, drawing those fascinated by its morbid past and the allure of the supernatural. Efforts to develop the island into a tourist destination have been met with resistance, largely due to its infamous reputation. Poveglia Island remains shrouded in mystery and fear, its abandoned buildings serving as silent witnesses to centuries of suffering. With its grim history of death, disease, and rumored madness, Poveglia captures the imagination of those drawn to the macabre and the supernatural. Whether viewed as a site of historical tragedy or a haunted realm of restless spirits, Poveglia Island stands as a powerful testament to the darker side of human history.